Her Excellency Ms. Maha Akil, Acting Director General of Social and Family Affairs at OIC. Her Excellency Dr. Sama Al-Alawi, President of the Regional CSR Academy. Her Excellency Ms. Veronika Peshkova, UNIDO Goodwill Ambassador. Respected viewers, audience, participants, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Great pleasure and honor to welcome you all to the opening ceremony of Young Women Entrepreneurs as drivers of SDGs 4-day capacity building program. Before we kick off the session, I would like to introduce my name is Parvin Yahyayeva. I am from Azerbaijan, and I'm working as coordinator at the Department of Media and Communications at the Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum. It's both a privilege and honor to moderate the opening ceremony of this unique opportunity. Before proceeding to our program, I would like to briefly introduce one of the ICWave jointly organized program with the UNIDO Investment and Technology Promotion Office in Manama, Bahrain, which is aimed to empower young women as a driver of SDGs by starting from their own communities to the global level, to enhance their entrepreneur skills, to establish an effective network among young women entrepreneurs, which allows and sustains practical ecosystems for their future endeavors, and to propose relevant policies and solutions to further strengthen young women's entrepreneurial capacities. As you all know, entrepreneurship is one of effective and multidimensional phenomenon with the greatest potential to further foster sustainable development and also improve women's socioeconomic status. However, there is a clear gender gap in entrepreneurial rates around the world. Women entrepreneurs play a substantial role in growing their financial independence, increase their country's economic prosperity, and further improve the economic and social fabric of their respective communities and societies. This 4-day training webinar serves as a platform to address the vital role of young women entrepreneurs in driving growth and SDGs. It also highlights the key role of institutions in enhancing opportunities and further strengthening cooperation with regards to further boosting women's entrepreneurial opportunities. The main goal of this program is to develop the skill, capacities, and confidence of young women entrepreneurs. This program is organized by the Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum and UNIDO ITPO Bahrain in cooperation with 10 valuable partners who were very supportive of us in this endeavor. OIC, CESRIC, IDB, World Association of Women Entrepreneurs, ICCI, ICDT, UN Women, CADAM, Women Entrepreneur, and CSR are our valuable partners in this program. We would like to thank to all of our partners for their outstanding efforts, great cooperation, and support in making this event a reality today. We can say that without the huge commitment and active contribution from our partners, this event wouldn't have become reality. Ladies and gentlemen, the program is combined of panel sessions, workshops, and testimonials. We will have numerous estimable panelists, valuable guests in our program the next 4 days. Today, we will have 2 panel sessions right after the opening ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, without further delay, I would like to proceed the first part of today's program by listening to the speech and insights of our valuable guests. And I would like to give the floor to Her Excellency, Mrs. Ruhsar Pekcan, Minister of Trade of the Republic of Turkey, to deliver her opening speech. Your Excellency Minister, the floor is all yours.
Thank you. Distinguished speakers and the participants, I am very pleased to be talking at such an important event about the young women entrepreneurs, its relation to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. I would like to thank the Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, UNIDO, and other partner institutions organizing this event, and bringing together many bright young people from different countries. The international community is faced with many challenges today, and Sustainable Development Goals provide an important framework to tackle these challenges collectively. In terms of the Sustainable Development Goals, women entrepreneurship is not only important for ensuring gender equality and empowerment of the woman, but it's also very much critical for supporting industrial growth, innovation, economic development, and the many other key areas. According to Women and the Trade report, published by the World Trade Organization and World Bank, within the developing countries, women account for about 33% of the labor companies deal with international trade, and only 24% of labor for the other type of the companies. These figures are significant. Meanwhile, we need to realize much higher figures if we would like to see more equality between men and women, as well as the more economic prosperities for our countries. Legal rights of women come hand to hand with economic rights and opportunities. We need to see more women as independent entrepreneurs, as managers, and business leaders as well. One of the key aspects of the entrepreneurship today is to well understand the dynamics of today's international economy. As you know, the digital economies have a great effect on the production and the marketing of goods and services. In addition, the significance of the e-commerce is growing so rapidly. We must realize that the digital technologies and the e-commerce are providing important opportunities for young entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs must pay attention on digital technologies, especially developments in information and communication technology and the system, and it can help them improve their own business and the business plans. Moreover, young entrepreneurs must seek and understand ways promoting and marketing their products by using digital platforms and e-commerce. Young entrepreneurs usually limited capital, and e-commerce can help them save certain costs and increase their marketing opportunities. In Turkey, number of women entrepreneurs have been rising over the years and would like to see it to rise even more. The number of women employers in Turkey have risen from 49,000 to 142,000 over the last 15 years. The number of women operating an independent business have risen from 490,000 to around 780,000 in the last 15 years also. We are implementing different projects to boost these figures. For example, as Turkish Ministry of Trade, in the recent past, we have started Export Academy program directed mainly towards the women and young entrepreneurs. We are providing training and the mentorship to the people who have the potential in entrepreneurship and the foreign trade. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, we have been working our trainings online. Up to now, during that period, around 2,000 citizens have benefited from this program. Another program I would like to mention is the Women Entrepreneur Online Network Program. This program focuses on creating a digital network among the women who are involved in entrepreneurship. This way, we are aiming they can share their experience and the expertise with each other. Certain experts and the professionals are also part of the network to assist young entrepreneurs with legal experience. I must also add that we will be using an advanced software to manage and coordinate the network. And we are very much pleased also, these programs have been designated as a good practice examples by the She Trades platform of the International Trade Centers. This was, we will be able to share them more effectively with the international community for the all women entrepreneurs and the young entrepreneurs. As I suggested in the beginning of my speech, empowerment of the woman is the key factor, not just for the economic growth, but also for the progress in the social, cultural areas. Therefore, the role and the status of the woman have a great implication on the development of our countries and the peoples, as well as on achieving United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. I strongly encourage all young women entrepreneurs to actively pursue their ambitions. I suggest all potential entrepreneurs to acquire different technical skills as much as possible and pay special attention to digital technologies and the e-commerce. I believe this online event, it will also greatly contribute to all participants in developing their ideas and setting out goals for the futures. Hence, I once again thank the organizers. I congratulate all the participants and the young people registered to this event and wish all of them great success for their future, which I believe, and they should believe themselves also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your valuable and insightful speech and remarkable contribution to our program during your occupied schedule. We are looking forward to have you, Your Excellency, in our future program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I have to join another meeting, so I wish success for your meetings, all of you. Thank you very much.
Distinguished guests, now I would like to give the floor to His Excellency Mr. Taha Ayhan, President of the Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, to deliver his welcoming speech. Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Thank you much, Parvin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Excellencies and distinguished guests of this special day and dear participants. First of all, I want to extend my profound thanks to Her Excellency Rusar Pekcan'ın, Minister of Trade of Turkey, who was a successful businesswoman and who is now giving direction to trade and business life in Turkey, as with us today, and we have listened her inspiring speech. And thank you very much for her presence and honoring our program today. His Excellency Dr. Hashim Hussein Bey, the head of UNIDO, Bahrain, Her Excellency Dr. Sama Al-Alevi, Her Excellency Ms. Veronika Pashkova, UNIDO Goodwill Ambassador, and I'm all thanking their presence with us today. And I would like to express my sincerest condolences to Ms. Maha Akil Hanim for her loss, and I express that she cannot be with us today, unfortunately. Allah yarhamu, his brother, and inshallah we can meet with our colleague, Ms. Maha, at the soonest possibility. On this very special occasion, I wish to extend my warmest welcome to you all for being with us today, and express my sincerest gratitude to all of you for your outstanding efforts, great cooperation, and support in making this event a reality today. Of course, we will have numerous estimable panelists and valuable guests in our program in the next 4 days. So I apologize for not being able to name all of them. However, I would like to thank all of them for their precious contribution and participation. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I can proudly say on behalf of ICYF, we believe that equality between men and women is not only fundamental human right, but a necessary foundation for a peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable world. Therefore, we have always tried to provide the opportunity for women and men to participate equally in the projects we have done so far. We have implemented 12 projects with the engagement of 79 countries just during this COVID-19 pandemic. 3,800 21 applications received for these programs, and 56% of these participants are women. Of course, these results make us proud and happy and encourage us to work harder for our youth. As you all know, we are face to face with a global challenge called Sustainable Development Goals. The Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, are a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and improve the lives and prospects of everyone, everywhere. The 17 goals were adopted by all United Nations member states in 2015 as part of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which set out a 15-year plan to achieve the goals. As a vote and as an individual, we have 10 years to achieve these goals, and unfortunately, we are running out of time. On this occasion, I would say every little step, every little action we do really matters. Gender equality is one of the 17 SDGs, which is the critical one to achieve the 2030 Agenda. The fact is, young women's economic empowerment lies at the heart of sustainable development in everywhere. Furthermore, encouraging entrepreneurship is one of the most crucial steps we can take in considering some of the disparities we observe today. I believe that supporting women, not only as employees, but also as entrepreneurs, will create new career options for both young women and men, as well as new ideas for sustainable development. Women and girls represent half of the world's population and therefore also half of the potential. But today, gender inequality persists everywhere and slows down social progress. According to the United Nations report in 2019, women only held 28% of managerial positions worldwide. It's gratifying that despite all the difficulties they have been through, the number of young women entrepreneurs is increasing every day, and this is good news. Of course, this will be enough, and we are confident this scene will be more heartwarming and satisfying in the near future. Dear colleagues, dear excellencies, dear distinguished guests, dear ladies and gentlemen, as ICYF, an affiliated institution to OIC, we will continue to work for the betterment of youth in all OIC member states, and we believe it will ensure women's full and effective participation and equal opportunities for leadership at all levels of decision-making in political, economic, and public life. We also look forward to your support and contribution in this regard. Before I finish my speech, I wish you and your family healthy and happy days. Inshallah, we will continue to make even more beneficial and powerful projects for our young people, for our Ummah, by overcoming this difficult process of COVID-19 pandemic in a healthy way. Thank you all for your kind attention, and I wish you a very successful and beneficial program. Thank you very much. See you. Ciao.
Thank you, Mr. President, for this outstanding and valuable speech. Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to give the floor to His Excellency Dr. Hashim Hussein, Head of UNIDA ITPO Bahrain, to deliver his welcoming speech. Excellency, the time and floor is all yours. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Your Excellency, Mrs. Rosham Pekcan, Minister of Trade of Turkey, Mr. Taha Yan, ICYF President of Turkey, part of the OIC, Her Excellency Mrs. Veronika Pishokova, UNIDO Goodwill Ambassador. It gives me a great pleasure to be with you here today. It is, I would say, for some months we have been working with ICYF to develop this first program to support women in the OIC member states. It is the first program, but I'm sure with this very important gathering for the coming 4 days, with number of speakers, experts in the area of entrepreneurship, SMEs development, financial inclusion, NGOs, and of course the young women entrepreneurs from OIC member states, we will be working with our partners, the ICYF, in developing a concrete program to support women, young entrepreneurs at the national level for each country of the OIC, but then and most important, how we can help them to integrate and develop joint venture and businesses together. I'm very delighted to have our ambassador of goodwill, Mrs. Veronika Shukova, where she herself been working and helping women entrepreneurs in Russia, in the CIS countries, and also she has a great interest, to support women from north and south. So we have several programs with her on creative industries for women, and in other domain which will be related to women empowerment. So she is good that she's attending this program, and then we will be looking in the future how we can bring all of this accumulated wealth of experience and good practices to member states of the OIC. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure, of course, to be present with you virtually, inaugurating our forum on young women entrepreneurs as a driver of the Sustainable Development Goals, which we believe it is an excellent platform focusing on women empowerment and development. OIC countries are mainly characterized by predominantly being a young population with an average of 60 to 70% below the age of 29 years. Hence, power struggles, tensions, and conflicts lead to poverty, instability, and migration. The only way forward to resolve this vicious circle and achieve the 17 sustainable goals lies in economic development for the human capital, the people, and prosperity and peace for all. Then we'll be able to convert the so-called threat into an opportunity to achieve economic development and increase investment and trade. But this, of course, involves developing public-private partnerships that are governed by the rule of law, good governance, and best practices that have proven a record toward the economic empowerment of financial inclusion for women and young people as a whole in our global world. Of course, today with the COVID-19 outbreak, despite its many challenges, I would say they also have played a positive role in speeding the shift from traditional business practices to more virtual setups that are in line with the digital revolution. And this is being demonstrated with our virtual webinar for the coming 4 days. And of course, it also has created new business opportunities. In addition to that, it has forced and facilitated the development of new support tools and mechanisms. In short, it is a new reality we're living in today. Allow me to highlight some recent statistics on some sectors which I will read. The e-learning sector is expected to reach $325 billion in size by the year 2025. E-commerce globally recorded 22 billion visits in June 2020, up from 16 billion visits in January 2020. In 2019, retail e-commerce sales worldwide amounted to $3.5 trillion, and e-retail revenues are projected to grow to $6.5 trillion in the year 2022. Food delivery businesses are expected to reach $200 billion by 2025. Virtual medical services spending will double within 2021. The reliance on fintech sector is on the increase and expected to reach $460 billion by 2025. And more concrete steps are being taken by major financial institutions today to promote what we call green Islamic finance. New investment in artificial intelligence to reach $58 billion by the year 2021. All of this figures, the billions, if you add them together, it will come to trillions of dollars. And this is why we are looking into COVID-19 not as a waste or as a lost opportunity. In the contrary, if we are in the front line, if we develop the right mechanisms and facilitate for micro and small businesses, especially in OIC member states, we will be part of this coming cycle, which will put us in the mainstream and in the main front line of the speeding of the digital revolution or the fourth industrial revolution. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in line of the above, it is our unique belief that opportunities are there and that our vision lies in the fact that women and men equally lead, participate in, and benefit from inclusive and sustainable industrial development. UNIDO fully recognizes that gender equality and the empowerment of women lie at the heart of its mandate. Our organization is committed to addressing gender economic empowerment and in harnessing young women's full potential as leaders and economic engines of change, thereby transforming economies and generating inclusive growth. We have witnessed firsthand that enhancing the role of women and promoting female investors and entrepreneurs contributes greatly to gender equality and further promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization. And of course, it will directly contribute to the 2030 Agenda of Sustainable Development and its Sustainable Development Goals. The UNIDO Investment Technology Promotion Office in the Kingdom of Bahrain and through the Arab International Center for Entrepreneurship and Investment have been an advocate and a champion of this role of in this. It was a huge responsibility and a big role where we have been working on for the last 20 years. And even I can go back more to 25 years when we started developing and witnessing through our flagship internationally renowned the best practices for the enterprise development and investment promotion, the IDIP or the Bahrain model, which we have initiated in the year 1998, sorry about that. Today, the IDIP program is being implemented and acknowledged in more than 52 countries, from Uruguay in Latin America to India to China to South Italy and almost all Arab countries and a big number of sub-Saharan countries. Millions of people through these entrepreneurs, through themselves, their families and the community have benefited from the IDIP modality, which is being even acknowledged by the Secretary General of the UN, Mr. Guterres, during the World Economic Investment Forum in 2019. Of course, it is our privilege to support this forum and bring together valuable women influencers and champions, entrepreneurs, experts, international speakers, policymakers, and corporate leaders for the purpose of supporting women and their valuable contribution to society and the economies. I'm very pleased to see today areas of discussion will be on how can young women entrepreneurs economic empower themselves, families, societies, national economies, and eventually contribute toward achieving the SDGs through entrepreneurship, innovation, and digitalization. Excellencies, distinguished guests, entrepreneurs, ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to working with ICYF and partners in implementing the forum recommendations and in developing conducive economic ecosystems for females and males in the OIC member countries. Of course, this will allow us to pave the way ahead to better have a better, prosperous, and peaceful future. I once again extend my best wishes to everyone involved and wish you all a successful and fruitful forum. All the best. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you, Excellency, for this productive speech. It was very valuable to hear your thoughts and insights regarding the women empowerment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to invite Mrs. Suzan Mohammed, Deputy Director of Women Affairs at Organization of Islamic Cooperation, to deliver her opening speech on behalf of Ms. Maha Akil. Mrs. Suzan, the time and floor is all yours, please.
Thank you. Her Excellency Dr. Rohsar Bejan, Minister of Trade of Turkey, Mr. Taha Ayan, President of the Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, Dr. Hashim Hussein, United Nations Industrial Development Organization, Bahrain, honorable participants, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to deliver this speech on behalf of Ms. Maha Akil, the Deputy Director General of Cultural, Social and Family Affairs, who retreat her regards and apologize for not being able to deliver this speech due to the unforeseen and terrible circumstances she is in. It is a pleasure to address the opening ceremony of the 4-day training program on young women entrepreneurs as drivers of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, organized by the Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, ICYF, in collaboration with the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, Bahrain. I would like to take this opportunity to express appreciation to the ICYF for its efforts in the advancement of young men and women. And I would like to dedicate special thanks for UNIDO for their sincere collaboration with the OIC and its institutions, especially for the co-organization of this timely and opportunist program that aims for developing skills and building capacity of young women entrepreneurs, notably in the post-COVID period. Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, the COVID-19 pandemic affects every segment of life, regardless of gender, cultural, societal, or economic background. As we strive to mitigate the consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic around the world, we must act vigorously to build back better. The severe economic disruption caused by the COVID crisis is disproportionately hitting many females, small, medium enterprises. While many women are losing their jobs, however, entrepreneurship plays a vital role in the economic empowerment of women, especially in development countries. As such, women's entrepreneurship is an area that needs specific attention and efforts to be extended by governments, institutions, and all other relevant bodies in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. Given that women startup owners and self-employed women are amongst the most vulnerable actors in the economy, member states and all relevant institutions have the primary responsibility for enriching and supporting those categories due to their small size and being new in the business. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, according to experts, there will be long-lasting effects of the pandemic in all domains, including the economic domain. In this respect, there is a pressed need for providing women entrepreneurs with new knowledge with regard to entrepreneurial behavior and more financing. This bankrolling should meet the needs generated by the coronavirus crisis, the COVID-19, in female entrepreneurship while encouraging innovation and digital development partnerships and the use of mechanisms focused on obtaining results in order to facilitate the access of women entrepreneurs to financing. The allocation of support funds to women entrepreneurs will help them in this difficult period and assist to restore their roles as engines to inclusive economic growth in member states. As part of its role in promoting cooperation and coordination in cases of global emergency, such as the COVID-19 economic effects on all member states, especially in the area of women empowerment, and with a view to supporting member states in facing this pandemic, the General Secretariat of the OIC launched a set of initiatives within the framework of the necessary joint responses to face the challenges posed at the current crisis. In this respect, the OIC General Secretariat has taken several initiatives, such as holding an online meeting for the Women Consultative Council on Women and COVID-19 in member states, in coordination with Burkina Faso, the current chair of the Ministerial Conference on Women, to address the impact of pandemic on women and girls, including the economic and financial impact, and formulate recommendations and propose policies. Furthermore, in a follow-up to another initiative by the General Secretariat in coordination with the Islamic Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture, the ICCIA and UNIDO, on enhancing the family bank concept and promoting microfinance in the G5 Sahel countries for the benefit of women entrepreneurs, the General Secretariat held a virtual meeting with representatives of these 5 countries on the step to be taken for establishing a family bank in their countries. Similar activities could be experimented in other regions of OIC geography with the aim of promoting the empowerment of women for sustainable development in our member states. Allow me also to commend the tremendous efforts exerted by some OIC institutions and organs in the field of women entrepreneurship, such as the Islamic World Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, ISISCO, and the Islamic Development Bank Group, the Islamic Center for Development of Trade, ICDT, and the Islamic Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture, ICCIA. Several and various seminars have been periodically organized by these institutions on women entrepreneurship in collaboration with the OIC member states within the framework of joint Islamic action. In conclusion, I would like to reiterate the readiness of the OIC General Secretariat to cooperate with all member states as well as all OIC institutions in all matters that would contribute to the empowerment of women entrepreneurship in our member states. I wish this program every success. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Director, for your delightful remarks. Distinguished guests, now I would like to give the floor to Her Excellency Ms. Veronika Peshkova, UNIDO Goodwill Ambassador, to deliver her keynote address. Please, Ms. Veronika, the floor is yours.
So thank you very much. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor for me to welcome the program Young Women Entrepreneurs as drivers of Sustainable Development Goals. The event is a great opportunity to attract young women to the world of entrepreneurship and to open new career horizons for all participants. And I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Hashim Hussein, to ITPO Bahrain, to all experts, partners, and organizational team for their input and their opportunities provided to the participants. Gender equality is an integral part of the Global Sustainable Development Goals. Today, Women Economic Empowerment Agenda is development of many international and global platforms, such as UN agencies, Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, World Trade Organization, World Bank, and other esteemed international institutions. Increasing women economic activity is the logical reaction on the opportunities and challenges of the fourth industrial revolution. Moreover, full-scale involvement of women will provide an opportunity to add up to $28 trillion to the global GDP by 2025. That means an opportunity to add to the world economy one more economy of China and one more economy of the United States of America. Women economic empowerment issue is up to date in all regions of the world. Currently, women respect most of global population, and there is a huge potential for growth both in women leadership and women entrepreneurship in any part of the world. Russian Federation pays a great attention to the issues of women economic empowerment issues and entrepreneurship and leadership, and effectively cooperates with UNIDA in the field. UNIDA develops a special project on women economic empowerment in cooperation with Eurasian Women's Forum Council, which runs the women agenda inside Russian Federation. In September 2018, Russia hosted the second Eurasian Women's Forum, attended by about 10,000 delegates from over 100 countries and 27 international organizations. UNIDA session was one of the significant events of the forum that boosted development of women's agenda in Russia and any other countries. The Council of the Eurasian Women's Forum is led by the head of the Russian Parliament, Her Excellency Ms. Valentina Matvienko, who significantly supports the development of women's agenda. The next Eurasian Women's Forum will take place in September 2021 in St. Petersburg. The agenda of the forum is devoted to the women's global mission in new reality. We will appreciate delegates from the whole world. The COVID-19 is becoming the unexpected accelerator of the digital transformation of industries, with risk of further increase inequalities between those who have skills to adopt and those who don't. And the issues of gender-balanced economic development becomes extremely important. The world is getting more and more automated. The digital industry is already representing 1/3 of the global GDP. Its productivity annual growth rate is four times of those of so-called physical industries, and 70% of all investments is attracted in ICT. Today, we see a great opportunity to make a step forward, building multi-stakeholder partnerships involving the private sector, non-governmental and international organizations, and academic institutions to develop women's-friendly economic environment. Increasing women economic activity is an opportunity to overcome challenges of the digitalization process. Many of working places that could be automated in implementing digital technologies are currently occupied by women. On the other hand, women need to be recognized as producers, entrepreneurs, and leaders. It is essential to ensure women's voice heard and their role in decision-making and leadership increased. For this, not only removing barriers that prevent engaging of technical knowledge and access of women to market is essential. It is also about mindset change. Importantly, men have to be engaged in the discussion in order to transform social norms. It is not barely an issue of human rights and gender equality. It is an issue of economic growth and welfare that is up to date in any part of the world. The conference Women in Industries and Innovations, arranged by UNIDA, took place this year. The importance of involving women and girls to ICT and creative industry was marked as an important task achieving gender-balanced economic development. It is essentially important to develop capacity building programs to boost women economic development and entrepreneurship. Many women identify lacks of necessary knowledge and skill as one of the key obstacles to start their own project. And I'm sure that the program Young Women Entrepreneurs as Drivers of SDGs who would help to overcome this barrier. Dear participants, you have a good chance not only to obtain new knowledge, but also to see real success stories of real women who, I'm sure, would become role models for you. We should understand that when a woman runs her own business and earns her own money, she spends this money for better health and living conditions for her family and better education for her children. That makes the new generation more competitive. Finally, I would like to wish success to all participants, and I would like you to feel the spirit of entrepreneurship and found remarkably interesting businesses.
Большое спасибо, мисс Пешкова, за вашу обстоятельную речь. Thank you so much, Miss Peshkova, for your comprehensive speech on women economic empowerment. Now I would like to give the floor to Her Excellency Dr. Sama Al-Alawi, President of Regional CSR Academy, to deliver her keynote speech. She conveyed her message via video. Süleyman.
To the development of its societies, the Kingdom of Bahrain has been uniquely integrating in its social policies a set of recommendations and global trends to foster and support women's organizations. This is reflected in the many strides that the Ministry of Labor and Social Development has taken, including improving cooperation between these organizations, facilitating their activities to achieve their goals, and ensuring that the presence of these organizations across all of their events, such as conferences and their seminars. These contributions undoubtedly play an important role in developing the capabilities of the members within the organizations, and goes hand in hand with the belief that women's organizations represents a vital social and economic force that has a significant role to play in tackling social problems in general and women's problems in particular. The Regional CSR Network has been especially keen on supporting global sustainable development through furthering the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and sustained efforts between the network and the Bahrain's governmental organizations will ultimately change their reality for the better.
Hello.
For sustainable development, including improving education, improving sustainability and comprehensiveness of healthcare, and perspectives of care for the environment. As such, the Regional CSR Network has also begun contributing to the improving the efficiency of these organizations. The network has strived to do this by facilitating these organizations and building their institutional capabilities through effective forums, conferences, workshops, and even seeking appropriate mechanism for introducing the networking, the global best practices, and inviting organizations for women to adopt them. The Regional CSR initiative is to promote sustainable development application to women's organizations because of the vital role that these organizations play in achieving national building and developing strategies, as well as enhancing their effectiveness according to the sustainability application, which will naturally contribute to the international ranking of the Bahrain and the international forums. We hope that this initiative will be widely accepted by those who are targeted, so that our civil organizations will be part of the large whole and the professional practices. To achieve this, the national program is to promote the sustainable development applications in women's organizations was developed. It is a professional program that directed to women's organizations in Bahrain with the aim of educating the leadership of those organizations about the United Nations goals for the sustainable development to foster their alignment with these goals. The goals are participating with the national women's organizations to foster international and global sustainability standards in their services and activities, and developing the skills necessary to adopt the sustainability development goals in their respective operations. Training practices for women's organizations via global reporting framework to document and showcase the practices and applications in the areas of sustainable development at an international standard. Identifying, documenting, and disclosing global sustainable development goals, best practices, and applications to participate women's organizations to promote their adoptions of these practices to enhance their operations. The program will aim to partner with Ministry of Labor for Social Development, the Supreme Council for Women, the United Nations Office in Bahrain, and the Women's Center in Social Responsibility. The program will target 50 active Bahraini women's organizations and initiatives between year 20 and 21, which will be selected in accordance with the Ministry of Labor and Social Development. And thank you.
We thank to Dr. Sama for her remarks, and before concluding, I would like to thank our honorable guests for their outstanding speeches and for being with us on the opening ceremony of one of the most important programs, Young Women Entrepreneurs, as a driver of SDGs for their capacity building program. And I would like also to thank all the participants who joined us from OIC member states and beyond. And last reminders, dear participants, please be informed that today we will have 2 panel sessions, and the first panel will start after 15 minutes break. See you inshallah there. Thank you very, very much for joining us. My best wishes for all of you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Thank you.